everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going over a 2020 Volkswagen Jetta SEL. So first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Volkswagen here in Southtown, Utah for providing us with the Jetta. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below. Definitely check them out. Let's get right into the video. Under the hood of the Jetta, we have a turbocharged 1.4 liter 4-cylinder that goes to an 8-speed automatic transmission. You can get a 6-speed manual. Fuel economy is 30 around town and then 40 on the highway, with power outputs being 147 horsepower and then 184 pound-feet of torque. Let's go over the front end on the Jetta. So first and foremost, this is finished in what's called platinum gray metallic, and all I have to say is this color is sexy. Like, it is a sexy color. I know that I never say that in videos, but like, seriously, look at this in the direct sunlight. It's just, I'm mesmerized by the color. You guys can see the LED lights here, by the way, for the daytime running lights, and then the projector bulb for the headlight itself. Got the little Volkswagen logo there. It also doubles as a sensor, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the front end of the Jetta, again, it's like signature Volkswagen, but this color, oh my gosh, this color is just, it's amazing. Coming around the side here, we've got 205mm tires wrapped around 17-inch wheels in the front and in the rear as well. And the other thing is, I love the wheels because even though they're standing still, there is like an element of movement in them just because what they've done with the design. And then when they move, it just looks even crazier. So yeah, I actually really like the design on the wheels. And then you can see the little SEL badge for the package that this particular one's finished in. Here's a full side view. And then obviously you can see the beautiful paint again. I'm just in love with this color. Coming here to the back, you guys can see the key fob. So you've got the lock function at the top, the unlock at the bottom, the release for the trunk. And then we do have the remote start, which press that twice. And yep, it's pretty quiet. I will get you guys an exhaust clip a little bit later, but that's the remote start. Now the next thing is the release for the trunk, so just hold that down and then it'll pop the trunk right open. Now coming here into the back, you guys can see trunk space back here is actually pretty decent in general here with the Jetta. And then the next thing to notice is if you actually pick up this little carpeting right here and then pick that all the way up, you do get a spare tire just underneath in the trunk as well. And well, that's everything for the back there. Now closing up the trunk, we can see everything else in the back with the design and all that. I really like the taillights on the newer Jettas. So they just have these nice little taillights that kind of wrap all the way around the side right there. And other than that, it's just kind of like a clean design. And if you look at it from the side, it's almost indistinguishable. Again, you guys already saw this angle, but it looks super similar to an Audi. Now coming here to the side, here's the door panel here in the back. So they actually kind of have like try to distinguish the different levels on the door panel itself, which is pretty interesting. But we're gonna pop in first because it's super loud and windy outside. And okay, now I'm in. So you guys can see I've got a good amount of legroom. I'm 5'11" if you're wondering. Headroom back here is also solid as well. You actually do get heated seats for the back. Look at the seats themselves though, really nice. Like, the leather is very soft to the touch. It's got a really cool design on it. It's kind of like all the little holes in it. And then you do get the little cup holders right there in the center. But yeah, the back, it's actually really nice. I'm really impressed with it. Now coming here to the side, we do get keyless entry and there is blind spot monitoring for the mirror. Now looking at the door panel here at the front, it looks quite a bit different from what's in the rear. So you get this really nice like high gloss trim right there on the door. You got the lock and unlock controls right there, the window controls, and then you actually do get soft touch on this part of the door and then this part down there. And then here's the seats in the front. So material wise, it's identical to what's in the rear. They just have a little bit larger bolsters compared to the back. And then you can see they are manually adjustable. Here's what the pedals look like there at the bottom. Got the little light control there at the top, and that's everything before we fully pop in. Starting off the Jetta is pretty easy. Foot on the brake, push the push start, and it'll all pop onto life. By the way, if you're wondering why it's beeping, it's because I got to shut the door. Once you shut the door, it's all good. Here's the steering wheel with the Jetta. It's actually a really nice steering wheel. So they kind of go again for that kind of like flat-ish bottom design. Smooth leather all the way around. And then it's black stitching to kind of match with the steering wheel itself. You have the controls for the little center stack right there. On the other side, you've got the controls for the adaptive cruise control. And then you got a little stock to do the high beams, windshield wiper stock on the other side. And it's everything for the steering wheel. Coming here in the center, it's kind of like a digital cluster. Well, not kind of, it is a digital cluster, guys. So you can see there's a couple different menus you can kind of scroll through with everything, which I think is pretty neat. Just show you different bits of information on the vehicle itself. You can even do your phone, you can do audio, navigation, or sorry, not navigation, compass. Let's get our stuff right. But yeah, pretty cool. I like the look of it. Definitely a really nice modern design. You can see the RPMs as you go up. it kind of like pulls up the blue with the line, which I think is really neat looking. Here's the center infotainment system. If you pop it in reverse, you can see the backup camera will pop up. It's got little trajectory lines right there, resolution on it's pretty solid as well. Now coming over to the infotainment system, I really like this infotainment system in the Volkswagens. Response time on it is super solid. Kind of some of the animations it does, how it does that little flip thing, I think is pretty neat. But yeah, response time on it's good, and other than that, I mean, you can see it's got all the stuff that you'd want it to have, and that's all for the infotainment system. Coming down below, you do get a dual zone climate in this particular package, and then you do get heated seats and a heated steering wheel for the front passengers. And then just coming down here, you notice that you get a little USB, and you get some wireless charging happening right there. Here's that shifter for the 8-speed automatic, and then you get a little 12-volt right next to it. Engine stop start right down here. This is your parking brake, your auto stop start. And then you notice that this says mode right here. This is the different drive modes. So you guys can see that there's a sport, custom, eco, and normal mode that you can kind of scroll through and notice that it changes kind of like the graphic on the side of the car, which I think that's pretty cool looking what they've done with the graphic right there. A couple cup holders right here, and then the center console. This is pretty neat. So you got stitching and padding, that's all pretty normal. But opening it up, see it's the lighter interior, so we can actually see in the center console. I wish more car manufacturers would do this so you could actually see how deep it is and all that, instead of it being just like this black void that is just nothingness. But coming over here, you can see that we do have the glove box storage space in there is pretty good, and then they've got that nice trim just up above on the glove box as well, and that's that little area. Coming up top here, we got a little sunglass holder there at the top, and then you do have the controls for the sunroof itself. It is just a regular sunroof, so you just do that with your hand, and then you can open up the sunroof with the rest of those controls, and well, that's everything for the top. Now that we're done going over the interior on this Jetta, let's quickly get into the pricing. So this particular Jetta in the SEL package with all the equipment it has in the 8-speed automatic, stickers for just over $27,000 for any type of market adjustment. That all being said, let's take this Jetta out and see how it drives. So we can talk about visibility here in the Jetta before we set off. So visibility over the hood is actually really good, and they actually did soft touching on the dash, which is a pretty nice little thing. There's your visibility through both the mirrors. Remember, they do have blind spot monitoring in them. And then here's your visibility all throughout the rear as well. So visibility in general is just super solid here in the Jetta, and well, let's set off. We are setting off here in the Jetta, and well, let's first talk about the road noise and the ride quality. So far from a ride quality perspective, and hopefully the other camera's capturing this, just like in the other video with the Tiguan, just how beat up this road is. Goes over completely fine, no issues whatsoever. So definitely really solid from a ride quality perspective. And then in terms of the noise that comes through, obviously I am getting a little bit of noise from the tires because it's going over all this nasty stuff from this road that's just completely destroyed. But that all being considered, I mean, it's really solid. Like it just goes over it and no problem at all. Like, I'm really impressed just from a ride quality and road noise perspective. And we're going to be getting our little acceleration here. Oh, never mind, we've got a meter, so you guys are gonna have to be patient for the acceleration. I'm sorry, I tried, but rush hour. See what she's made of. Whoa, those gear shifts are quick. Man, this definitely has that turbocharged feel. Like 120% turbocharged feel. It was like nobody's home, and then as soon as I hit the turbos, it was like, boom! Unleash the dogs of war. That's good. But yeah, the gear shifts, that's what I'm really impressed with, is just how responsive this 8-speed automatic is. It's a really responsive transmission, and you guys can hear even on the interstate, it still does really good in terms of the noise insulation here in the cabin. And we'll kind of see what the brakes do once we get up here in just a moment. But yeah, it's good with the acceleration. Okay, we'll see how the brakes kind of handle right here. Yeah, the braking's really good on it as well. I'm really impressed with everything from the braking perspective on top of that. Like, there's a good amount of feel with the brakes themselves, and they respond really well. And let's see, turning here. Steering's super light, but it's actually pretty direct. It's actually kind of has like a sporty feel to it. I'm impressed with that. Yes, it's a front-wheel drive sedan, I get it, but it handles pretty well. And I mean, with the turbocharger, kind of like the drama you get with the turbo lag, yeah, it kind of has like a sporty feel. Like that's really cool. And that'll actually get me into summing things up. If you want a sedan, then obviously, and I mentioned this in my Tiguan video as well, but if you want a car that is at a fraction of the cost compared to like an Audi, but you get a lot of the same stuff you get in an Audi, and you get pretty similar looks to what an Audi has as well, just kind of like differences with the badges pretty much and the headlights, then that's where Volkswagen's just super solid. The Jetta definitely fits within that category as well. And what I feel like with this Jetta overall, it's a fun, sporty, relatively inexpensive new car. Warranty's really good on it as well. And I mean, yeah, it's a solid car. I actually really like this. I came in a little bit skeptical, but definitely really solid. There we have it, everyone, the 2020 Volkswagen Jetta SEL. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Southtown Volkswagen for providing us with the Jetta. Check out the inventory in the link below, and then I will see all of you in that next video.